how I ended up in the dimension of spookiness, but I did end up there. And of course, it would become one of my worst moments. I was spooked by a skeleton, and he forced me to play a spooky game. Lord knows if I'll ever escape that dimension. Well, it looks like I'm stuck in here forever. Hello again, vampire monas and zombie warriors. Welcome to the second part of the Otaku Bandito Halloween Special. Well, since the second trial is the trial of the Rider, we're going to be taking a look at Ghost Rider. Now, to be fair, a game where you actually get to play as Ghost Rider is actually an awesome concept. Now think about it. A game where you can play as Ghost Rider and ride on his awesome bike and use the Flame Whip, or the Flaming Chains. Well, that's what I call them. Or the Chains of Fire. Let's call them the Chains of Fire. Is actually an awesome idea. Like, it would actually make a great game. Or, so to speak, an excellent game. And of course, I also have to note that this game is released on the PlayStation Portable. And here it is. Yep, this is my black PSP system. And yes, it's somehow teleported in this dimension, even though it's established that all of my weapons, of course, do not exist in this dimension. But PSPs do apparently exist in this dimension. Deal with it. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know what the PlayStation Portable is, it was Sony's attempt at capitalizing on the handheld market. Yeah, Nintendo was the leader of the handheld market, and they, of course, were dominating every single generation of handheld consoles. So, Sony, of course, ought to capitalize on this success by making the PlayStation Portable. Even though the PlayStation Portable actually has a large amount of shmups and even has like Ace Combat X, Skies of Deception, which is actually one of my favorite handheld Ace Combat games. One of my two favorite handheld Ace Combat games. It didn't actually sell well compared to the Nintendo DS. And of course, Sony tried this again with the PlayStation Vita in 2012. Was it 2011? I think 2012 is the correct answer. And guess what? They also fell behind the Nintendo 3DS. Even though, yet again, it has a large amount of weeb games. Well, and games with anime girls, and then that is if you're into this stuff, but I'm not, though. And shmups. It didn't sell well compared to the Nintendo 3DS. And let's face it, the Nintendo 3DS, like if the Nintendo 3DS has games like Star Fox 64 3D, Ace Combat Assault Horizon Legacy, Mario Kart 7, and WarioWare Gold, then you're most likely not going to compete well against the Nintendo 3DS. So yeah, that's the story of the PlayStation Portable. Yeah, meant to compete with the Nintendo DS and released around the same time, but failed. Alright, enough talk about the PSP. Let's go on to review Ghost Rider, the game! Alright, so here we go. Yeah, don't ask me why the time is set on the PSP in this dimension, because I'm not sure if time exists in this dimension or not. Oh, and I forgot to mention that you can watch movies on this thing. Yeah, you can watch movies on the PSP. I have a collection of movies that I watch whenever I'm on the go. And yes, I watch movies on my PSP. Now, a lot of you, of course, would watch movies on your iPad or a smartphone, but, well, I got myself a newer iPad 2 years ago, and I can't take it anywhere because I'm afraid I'll damage it. Alright, let's go. Alright, let the trial begin. I can tell you that this is gonna get spooky. Probably even spookier than the last game we played. Ooh! That's too spooky for me. A skeleton appeared on the screen. I mean, Ghost Rider himself appeared on the screen. I can already tell you that is pretty spooky. Did you get spooked? Yeah, here's the intro for Marvel Comics. Yeah, I think they used to use that intro in their movies until they replaced it with a newer one where they show certain still images from some of their movies, like the characters from those movies and the and those parts, you know what I mean. There's sure a lot of logos in this intro. Ooh, man. Alright, let the trial commence. Let's get a new game. Alright. Yeah, you have to enter in your name like a lot of other games in this era. Alright, be back in a sec. Alright, so we entered in our name. Now let's play the game. Oh, we need a player tag as well. Alright, this calls for another jump cut. Yeah, I don't know what the point of putting a player tag in there was. Since, well, putting in the name itself would technically be enough, right? Well, not in this game. Alright, let's click on a profile. We're going to click on the first one that's there. Yeah, and has a autosave feature. Alright, so this game has multiple game modes. Story mode, which is the meat of the game. Challenge mode, which I think is a challenge mode. Multiplayer mode, where you get to play against other players, even though I doubt that that anyone would actually want to play this game against you. Options, which is the options menu. Yeah, there's not much to talk about here. And of course, extras. We could actually few different art pieces and movies and other things that you unlock in the game. Yeah, it's kind of cool that they included those. But I don't think the game is going to be that great. Let's find out once we go to story mode. 1. Ghost Rider in Hell. Now that sounds spooky. Oh man, having a lot of spooky feelings about this game. Just need to calm down. Yeah, it's a cutscene. That's expected in games in this day and age, and even modern days, because lots of games have like cutscenes, and there's not really much point to them, unless the game is centered around those cutscenes. Yeah. I don't want to listen to the story, I just want to play the game and play as Ghost Rider. But in some games, like many of the RPGs I've played, well, a few of them, you have to listen to the story to see what's going on. And there's plenty of games that are story-driven. Let's skip this cutscene. Alright, so... Oh! There's a bunch of, monsters with, thingamajigs on their back. Yeah. Well, the game's pretty boring. Yeah, it's just endless waves of enemies. I know that there's good examples of these games like Spartan Total Warrior, the spin-off of the Total War series, but this isn't one of them though. Yeah. This game's a chore to play. We'll skip to the end, because I don't think that there's much to see beyond these games. But the thing, of course, there is a part where I have to show to you guys. Yeah, I think there actually might be motorcycle sections. I'll show the motorcycle sections before we go to the end of the game itself. Let's do that. Yeah, I almost forgot to mention about the upgrade system in this game. Yeah, this game is nothing special. It's basically another one of those Devil May Cry kind of games. And a lot of games copy it. Like the most notable example, Bayonetta. Yeah, the way the upgrade system works is that you collect skulls for certain attacks. You got the fire combos, light combos, and heavy combos. And once you collected enough skulls to get the upgrades, well, you become more powerful. Yeah, and notice how the upgrade currency is in the form of skulls. This game really is spooky. Alright, let's move on to the motorcycle section. Oh, and there's Sam Elliott there. Yeah, it's one of the characters in the Ghost Rider movie. You know, the guy in the Dodge Ram commercials. That guy. Alright, let's move on to the motorcycle sections. Enough talking about Sam Elliott. Alright, we're up to what I think is a motorcycle stage. Yeah, if you were expecting to see variety in the enemies, like a huge variety of them, then this is not the game for you, because there's not much variety in the enemies. Oh, and the only time that you'll ever use the jump maneuver is with the bosses. Yeah, that's the only time I think where you'll be using it. Alright, let's ride the Hell Cycle. Yep, that's what it's called. The Hell Cycle. Yeah, stage 1-4, Hell's Highway. Alright, are we ready? Yeah. And of course, I think the motorcycle stages are an attempt at including some variety, but let's face it, there's not going to be much variety in this game. Yeah, and another good thing about this game is the soundtrack. It's kick-ass, and I mean it's awesome. The soundtrack of this game is awesome, but don't expect to hear any musical variety in this game. Alright, so, yeah. There's motorcycle stages in this game. I'm not sure if Devil May Cry and Bayonetta had motorcycle stages in them. But, I'm gonna guess that, hazard a guess that they don't. So that's one thing that Ghost Rider has that Bayonetta and Devil May Cry don't have. Ooh, man, we failed to jump over the spikes. This reminds me a lot of Ghostbusters 2 on the NES. Not new Ghostbusters 2, the other Ghostbusters 2 game that's very lackluster. The hell shots. There's a lot of things that are related to hell in this game. Yeah, so I actually do like the motorcycle stages, but I'm not gonna plan to replay this game anytime soon. Yeah, there are some things that, of course, you can unlock, and there's some challenge missions in this game, but let's face it, I don't think this game, of course, goes very well in the replay value department. Yeah, and the motorcycle sections sort of remind me of Road Rash. And to be fair, I actually like Road Rash. Yeah. It's not much to it. I'm a sucker for racing games, so let's move on. Yeah, I like this stage just because I'm a sucker for racing games. Let's move on to the final stage of this game. Oh, and it's still a way better motorcycle racing game than Ride to Hell Retribution. Alright, we're finally there. We're finally at the end of the game. The final level of hell, also known as the end of everything, and we're gonna face against the final boss. Alright. I better beat this stage in order to get out of this dimension. 5-8. Hell on Earth. Yeah, does sound a lot like the subtitle to the second Doom game. Doom 2. Hell on Earth.
Come out. I know you're here. Just in time.
Oh. It's Blackheart. Yeah, anybody who's ever seen the movie knows that the main villain is named Blackheart.
Stop it! Oh no! Hell on Earth! A kingdom worth 1,000,000 times more
Alright.
than the whole.
Yeah, I also have to mention that The hardest section of the entire game, aside from the final boss stage, is stage 5-5. I had to deal with these friggin' ninjas and two of these hilariously freakish monsters. Yeah, it's bad enough I had to deal with one of them. But two of them in the same stage? Man, that's like hell. Hell on earth.
How Mephisto's servant gathers up the demons, exactly as he promised us, exactly according to the deal. The journey I have sent you on, Ghost Rider.
I better quote Ghost Rider himself.
Very wild goose chase.
Back to hell.
A cliff in the earth. Now it is complete. The walls between my domain and this will come crumbling down. Nothing can stop me. Hell on earth will begin. But the wall still stands. Yes, there is one task yet remaining.
Oh, and it's also interesting to note that he looks different from the movie itself, which in the movie he basically looked like some goth guy or
You didn't think I'd stand locked up
a member of
Father,
3 Days Grace.
doesn't matter. I will destroy you both. Let's take this outside. Shall we dance again, Ryder?
Oh, there's that 3 Days Grace band member that I was talking about. Oh, and his true form is a beast. The beast! Yeah. I make a Doctor Who reference. Yeah, seriously, has anybody seen Doctor Who? The main villain is one of the villains in the newer series is the Beast. The main villains in the series, well, needs no introduction. They're the dogs in Cybermen. Alright, let's do this. Oh, shooting fireballs. Ooh, man. This is gonna be hell on earth. Ooh. Well, we did it. We did some damage to him. Gotta avoid those fireballs. Alright, see you when the boss is defeated. Well, we beat the game. Yep.
I think not.
Beating this game was like going through a stage of hell. Yeah, there's the ending.
You okay?
I am now.
Yeah, Ghost Rider gets his girlfriend.
Is he gone?
Or as his,
He'll be back.
well, his other name states, well, his other name is Johnny Blaze. Yeah, Johnny got his girlfriend back. And they both lived happily ever after. Alright. Let's go on to the conclusion. So, there you have it. Ghost Rider, the game itself, is a great concept. But, in execution, it fails horribly. And I do mean horribly. The game itself is, well, let's say it's not even that great. Yeah. And this, of course, is the case that goes for a lot of other movie licensed games. They're just, well, so to speak, suck. A lot of them, of course, are not even good games and, of course, are just there to capitalize on the movie. Yeah. Even though the days of movie licensed games are gone, we still buy these games in order to make great reviewing material. So we can rip these games a new one. Well, to be fair, there are a few exceptions of movie license games out there. There are some that are great, like King Kong, the game, based on the Peter Jackson movie of the same name. And, of course, Batman on NES is also pretty great. So, yeah, there are a few exceptions. But, as I said before, a lot of movie license games, of course, suck. So, I'm giving this game a rating of a 4 out of 10. It's below average. It's not even worthy of bearing the Ghost Rider name. It's not even worthy of the rider himself. So, I gotta make like a tree and try to get out of this dimension. Hopefully that skeleton doesn't try to spook me. I'm definitely getting out of this dimension no matter what it takes. What's wrong? Don't you want to enjoy the spooky things? Wait a minute, don't I remember you from somewhere? Well, you should, because everyone in the land of spooky knows my name. I am the Grim Reaper, and I'm coming to get you. Oh no! There's even a spooky movie going on. Wait a minute, the TV's alive as well? That movie's spooky. It's Night of the Living Dead. Man, it's just one spooky thing after another. Boo! It's that green ghost again. I thought I killed him after I destroyed him with a magic wand many years ago when I gained the powers of from a game disc called Heretic. Yes, that's right. I am the green skeleton ghost. You can run all you want, but you will never escape this place. I'm sorry, but I am getting out of this dimension. Uh-oh. It looks like I went into a spooky forest. This dimension is a lot like if you had a nightmare. The scenery just changes sporadically. This forest already looks spooky. I'm getting out of this place. Definitely gives me the heebie-jeebies. Boo! Did I just see a ghost? Man, this place really is spooky. I see trees. I hope nothing spooky comes out of these trees. If it does, then I am gonna get scared silly. Oh no! It's a Frankenstein SpongeBob. I'm definitely getting out of this place. Fire bat. Spooky things. Good. These ghosts. There's ghosts everywhere. Well, bear with me for a sec. I don't have any weapons, but I still have my spells. I remember reading somewhere in my spell book that there's a complication spell that can get out of anywhere. Even if it's oh! Pantalones? Teleportus? Nice, it worked! Ooh. Well, looks like I'm back where I started. That was a weird trip. I guess I better continue my walk in the forest. Who knows what I might come across. Well, that's that, I suppose. I finally found my way out of the quote-unquote unescapable dimension of spookiness. I may not have had my weapons with me, but I still have my spells. And now, I continue to walk in the very forest.